past few days, we brought you coverage of the Hurricane Helene relief efforts in North Carolina. Blaze Media's Glenn Beck, Jill Savage, and Julio Rosas are in North Carolina with Representative Corey Mills to assess the aftermath and speak with individuals on the Broad River Fire and Rescue team. Now, President Biden also touched down in North Carolina, but Congressman Mills says the visit may have done more harm than good.
Unfortunately, one of the things that occurred today that slowed down our progress is that President Biden decided to go ahead and do a fly-in today, but then he also put a TFR, 30-mile TFR around the actual impacted area, which means that no helicopters and no planes have any access or any capability to fly. So for 4 hours, they were grounded, search and rescue was grounded, distribution of food and supplies was grounded, and so this, in my opinion, was irresponsible. If FEMA is going to not show up and the federal government is going to delay up to a week to be here, at least don't stop the operations by the civilians and organizations like Mercury One, like Universal Air, like Sentinel Foundation, and others who are Samaritan's Purse, who are trying to do the right things in lieu of federal government assistance.
Well, joining me now to discuss is Matthew Peterson, editor-in-chief of Blaze News. And then we also have Glenn Beck on the phone from North Carolina. So, Glenn, what is Blaze doing in North Carolina right now?
We're just tracking down the facts of what's happening. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. Some of it's true, shockingly true, and we'll have the details on that. Some of it is not true. I will tell you that every American should see this. It is so hopeful. The FEMA, I've seen one FEMA truck. I just interviewed them. They arrived last night. They had a communications truck, so they've got a big satellite so they can, talk to people on TV. They were tucked away. We were driving with 8, 9 people. I was the only one that saw the truck tucked way away from everyone. I said to them, what are you doing here? They were all sitting at a card table with one computer. And they said, well, we need to be where the people are. And I thought, well, the people aren't here. And we're getting them registered so they can sign up for government aid. It is absolutely ridiculous what the federal government is doing. But again, the hope is coming from the people here. You would not believe how, there's a makeshift airport. One of the helicopters is taking off. We're just getting in now. We're winding ours up because we're going to do a medevac from an old man who's in really bad shape and trapped in his house. And it's all being done by, former special forces. The Harley Davidson dealer here is doing it. This is communities and one American after another coming in and just helping. And we'll have everything you need to know on tomorrow's radio show. And Jill is with me, so she'll be back tomorrow, and we've got some amazing pictures to show you as well.
Glenn, Matthew here. This is fascinating. So you're confirming that what you're seeing is very little action from the federal government and a lot of organized action.
What I'm saying is no action from the federal government. And tomorrow, once I've already talked to 2 sources, and when I get a third one, which I'm going to get here in the next couple of hours, you will have a well-sourced story that is telling you when FEMA does arrive, what they do. They have pulled one source is a semi-truck driver who had been pulled over by FEMA, and they took his food off his truck because they know better.
Wow.
We have FEMA trying to shut down the Hilo field because the FAA isn't involved. Screw the FAA. If you had planes down here and you had helicopters yourself and you were rescuing them, then fine, we'd shut this down. But you're not here. And I really don't think they care. I really don't think they care. There are people that are still dying. We're on our way to Chimney Rock. After this rescue, we're going to Chimney Rock. We're going to land there and try to find somebody from the city to find out. They are bulldozing Chimney Rock. Now, that would have to happen, but is the government going to allow those people to move back and build their homes? Not according to FEMA's own mission plan, no.
That's terrifying. What What are some of the major issues that you see arising for people that are living in those communities? Is it access to water,
Well, they're
food?
not living. They're not living in the community. Some of them are still trying to get the mud out of their house. They're still trying to. I mean, I've seen tractor trailers upside down, on the sides of the road where they had just been pushed by the water. I've seen houses upside down that were just turned over by the water. It's shocking what we're seeing here. And there are some things we're making a list that we'll have tomorrow on the radio of things that they need. But I'll tell you, the number one thing I've heard from the people who are organizing things on the ground, and they're all just locals that were special forces, and they said, we just need people. We just need more hands to help. So we'll try to give you some more information on what you can do to help and how you can get in contact with people. But the federal government is not here, and they showed up in, I don't remember the name of the little town, but they showed up, and they were pretty much turned around by the locals because they arrived today. This happened last Thursday. And, they're coming in and saying, well, you can't do this, you can't do this. And this one area said, to hell with you. You just got here. We don't need you. Turn around, leave. And they did.
That's amazing, Glenn. Can you tell us a little bit more about that hope that you see? So how are these people, I mean, you basically see multiple communities coordinating together in this relief effort that's been erected in the space of 48 hours? Tell us more about these people.
We were here on Saturday. Mercury One was here on Saturday, and we'll show you the videotape tomorrow. But this Harley Davidson was 3 feet underwater, and it's been scooped out and, all the mud scooped out of it. And they just said, just take it over, move the bikes. A lot of them are wrecked. And pallets of food are coming in. How many, Corey? How many pounds of food? 18,000 from us. How much the whole thing?
At least 350, 400,000 pounds.
About 400,000 pounds of food
Wow.
is sitting out here. And the thing I know they need are more hands to sort it, because they're sorting it in packages and to bags so they can get them out. So when people come in, they know what they need. It is really remarkable here. It is all about the churches. It's all about individuals. It's all about a lot of military, just people who have, taken an oath to the Constitution, seeing problems in their own community and just taking charge and say, okay, here's how we do it. And it's a lot of churches and organizations, charitable organizations that are small, not the big ones. Haven't seen Red Cross. And again, I saw one truck from FEMA parked almost behind an out of business, I don't even know what it was, art store or something.
Like, wow.
Are you there?
Yeah, that's incredible. I love that it's these little grassroots efforts that are making the big difference. I'm so glad you guys are on the ground.
It is God's army. That's what it is. It's God's army. I'm just a few miles away from Billy Graham's house, where I sat, 8-10 years ago with him. And I said, where's the next Billy Graham? And he said, God's tired of these people like me getting credit for his work. He said, it's not going to work that way this time. It's not going to be a big centralized movement. He said, it's going to be individuals just standing up, doing what they can do, what the Lord tells them to do. He said, and it'll be a giant mosaic that that everybody in the end will know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is responsible for that. I'm seeing it just in the community where he told me that. I'm seeing it here. Just individuals driving from all over the country. I met somebody from Arizona, people from Harrisburg. The police or fire rescue are from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The fire rescue from Arizona is here. They just, one of the biggest food drops is it's Texas A&M. The school just came out and said, we're going to help. I mean, it's really amazing what's happening. And quite frankly, it really warms my heart to see a community that has pulled together so well that they can say, you know what, screw off, government. You were late. You don't really care about us. You're not going to boss us around. We don't need you. That hasn't happened that I know of since Herbert Hoover.
It is too little too late for them, but we are so grateful and proud that you and Mercury One are there. We can't wait to hear what you have to say tomorrow. We would love to have more details, more video, more photos, and figure out ways that we can all help and contribute. So thank you for what you're doing. You guys stay safe.
It's remarkable what's happening, and I keep hearing thank you to the audience of the Blaze and my audience and Mercury One. I have heard that once. I've heard it 1,000 times. You are making a difference, so thank you.
Thank you. Thoughts and prayers to you guys. Stay safe out there.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right, see you then. I love that he's saying the thing that, Fred Rogers always said his mother told him, look for the helpers. When things like this happen, look for the helpers. And it sounds like there is no shortage of helpers. I
mean, it just blows me away hearing this, right? Mm-hmm. The hopeful side of it is something that really comes through when Glenn describes it. And it's invigorating. It's good.
Yeah. And I think none of us are surprised that the government is not there doing their part, but we're happy to know that other people are jumping in, Americans helping Americans.